So I just had a pretty crazy run inside the Elder Dark Aether, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I think this is a strategy that anybody can do. Maybe if you guys are still missing a couple of those schematics, this is definitely something that you guys can do to make that pretty easy. And it doesn't even matter if any weapons end up getting nerfed because we're not even really going to end up using any for this run. Today we're going to be going into the new Elder Dark Aether completely solo with nothing but a knife and a bunch of decoys. And we're also going to be bringing in a jug just so we can take care of that HVT. But with that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, consider rocking that like button and subscribing to the channel. We just hit 14,000 subscribers and we're already on the road to 15. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the huge support you guys have been showing me lately. I set a huge goal of 20,000 subscribers that I want to hit by the end of summer, and so far we are just absolutely smashing it, guys. Now, the setup for this is going to be extremely simple. I would advise you guys to do a few contracts and just get all of your perks. You can either do one of two things. You can either bring in whatever boss killer that you are most comfortable with, or you can grab a jug suit and that can easily take care of this HVT as well. The most crucial part about doing this whole thing is going to be actually filling up your backpack completely full of decoys. Now, you can't just stand at the ammo refill station and drop one decoy and stow it in your backpack and then refill and then just rinse and repeat until you got a backpack full. But what I like to do is kind of travel around the map like while I'm doing contracts, and I'll just hit one ammo station when I get close to them, just so that way I'm not wasting a bunch of time standing around one of these things. What do you know, to my surprise, we actually ended up getting a mimic. Now, 9 times out of 10 whenever I come in here, I always get that mega abomination, so if I would have known that it was going to be a mimic, I probably just would have pack-a-punched this knife and put a nice ether tool on it and tried to do it that way. Using this jug definitely saved us quite a bit of the hassle, and we'll just clear out a few of these zombies while we're in this thing. Why the hell not? Now, the loophole from this one wasn't too bad. We ended up getting that Bloodburner key schematic plus the Bloodburner keys, and we got another Elder Sigil, so I'm definitely going to be taking those so I can come back in here. Now, this is where things in this match took kind of an interesting turn for me. I was trying to get my stuff out of this rift. There was just so many zombies around me that they ended up finally putting me down, which luckily I did bring in 2 self-revives. I noticed something strange when I got up. I wasn't carrying my knife anymore. I went around and looked around on the ground where I went down, and I just honestly couldn't find it. Now, this might just be a glitch that is tied to like the melee weapons. I know we've had kind of similar glitches like with the akimbo pistols. They have like that effect where if you switch the weapons, then the effects will finally actually go away, like the flames and stuff like that. This is the first time that I've had this happen, so I don't know if maybe your other weapons might have a chance of disappearing if you go down in here. Now that we got this HVT done, we're going to hit this rift so we can jump easily on top of the mall and grab this next bunny for our next contract. We've only ended up using a couple of those decoys so far, so we are completely set up for this thing. Also, MWZHUB.gg just updated their site with the brand new Dark Aether. If you guys are curious on how to find anything here inside of the Dark Aether, maybe if you're looking for those bunny contracts, maybe if you're looking for any safe locations or you want to know how to start that Easter egg, I'm going to throw up this map up on the screen right here, which is going to show you guys exactly where everything is at. And if you guys do go over to their site, their maps are fully interactable and you can pick and choose whatever it is that you want to see. Big shout out to MWZHUB.gg for putting together these maps. I'm going to have their links down in the description. Be sure to go check them out. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I was doing these Aether Extractor contracts, I really kind of felt like I was having to bob and weave quite a bit because I was getting smacked around a little bit. One of the harder things about doing this strategy is that you're going to have to constantly be opening up your backpack and re-equipping those decoys when you run out. I would say if you guys are confident in your movement, this has got to be one of the easier strategies that you can do. You guys remember the other day when I mentioned how it seemed like they fixed the glitchiness of these things? Well, I swear to God, I'm going to just stop saying stuff like that because these things keep glitching out on me now. And it never ceases to amaze me how random that this game can actually be sometimes. Like, it really doesn't matter if certain things worked for you a certain way 50 times. If you come back in, I guarantee on your 51st time, it's going to be different for some reason. Like, take the HVT in here, for example. I could swear at least for the first 20 times that I came into the Dark Aether, I got the Mega Abomination every single time. So for a while there, I thought it was the only one that you could get, but then eventually I started seeing the other HVTs pop up and I was like, huh? That's why sometimes I try to be very careful about some of the information that I put out about this game, because it doesn't matter if I've done something 99 times and it was the same every single time. For some reason, I could come back in on my 100th time and it'll be different. Now we are over on our way into the Holdout mission and we're going to stop off at this ammo refill station. We didn't get too much out of that last contract, but we did get some Bloodburner keys and I do like that bike. I don't know if you guys just seen the short that I just recently put out, but that thing can actually drive underneath the water if you nosedive it just right. Then you can just sit underneath there without taking any damage and the zombies can't get to you. It's actually kind of nice. Get this P&D started. Now I'm not sure if you guys have seen some of my other videos that were kind of similar to this. I have kind of figured out a method with these Holdout missions without a gun, especially since this is the Elder Dark Aether Ether, we're going to end up with a lot of zombies in here, especially since we're not going to be taking care of any of them. Now keep in mind that our decoys do last for 8 seconds, and that is quite a long time if you really think about it. What you're going to want to do is toss out your decoy and then count up to 7, and once you hit 7, toss out that other decoy. You're not going to want to wait the entire 8 seconds, because if you do, then those zombies do have a chance of instantly just snapping and turning on you, and you'd be really surprised how fast you can go down. As long as you have enough of these things still stored in your backpack, then you should be okay, and there is an ammo refill station that we ran past to come in here. Now if you got plenty of decoys and your zombies are taken care of, now your two biggest threats are going to be the Menglers and the Disciples that are going to be floating around in here. And yes, between the two of them, they can definitely put you down, so just be on your toes and move around a little bit. You'll notice up here I started realizing that I was just end up with a big ass pile of zombies inside this room, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should start throwing these decoys actually out of the room so I can get some of these zombies the hell out of here. And this is what I was talking about, guys. At one point I had like 3 Disciples in here and I just had to move. You can actually go into the back kitchen as well. Don't be afraid to leave the holdout area if you absolutely have to. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not like leaving it for a few seconds is really going to hurt your progress all that much. And there you go. Look at that, guys. We finally got our last contract done in here. I would say this is the most difficult contract in here to do if you're trying to complete this with only a knife or without a weapon at all. Once you get the feeling of doing it, it becomes really easy, and this is something that anybody can do because you don't have to have anything special. It takes a very small amount of farming to completely set yourself up for this run, and to just duplicate your decoy grenades really fast. Now I'm really so used to doing these contracts in a certain order. I was actually heading towards the mall because I thought I still had that contract, and I was like, oh yeah, I already finished that one. We're gonna run back over here to the mall where we ended up taking that rift the first time. There's an extraction inside the building, and I didn't know that these rifts disappear. Apparently after you take the rift, it'll end up disappearing because it wasn't here again. Don't be like me and look like an idiot and get stuck on this Jeep trying to hop up on top. I was just trying to get in through the roof, through the skylight that's on the roof, but this Jeep absolutely said no. So I eventually just gave up and ended up walking around the building and going through the side. But this definitely wasn't too bad of a run, guys, especially for coming in here with absolutely nothing. Not only would we have gotten that Bloodburner key schematic if we would have needed it, but we got 2 Bloodburner keys themselves. We got a refined crystal, we got that maga holding, plus we got another elder sigil. Now it kind of ended up throwing me for a loop when I ended up losing my knife, and then I had to complete 3/4 of this elder dark ether completely without a weapon, but luckily we were already set up for that pretty much. I would say that this new dark ether is way easier than the old one, so if you guys are still missing some of those new schematics, there is so many ways for you guys to come in here and just completely cheese this dark ether. If we can come in here and complete this dark ether with nothing but a backpack full of decoys, I have 100% faith that you guys can come in here and do the same. So that's gonna be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a big like on it. It would mean the world to me, and subscribe if anybody is new. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys are thinking. What is your favorite way to complete the elder dark ether? There's gonna be a video popping up on the screen that I think you guys should check out. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one.